First and foremost, thank you for inviting me to speak to you this afternoon. I have listened to General Madiebo's interview very attentively. It's quite an insightful interview, very retentive of events that occurred from the 50s on to today. It was quite a remarkable interview, and I loved listening to the old man. Yes, I wrote a book on Biafra, the horrors of war. My story and his story are at divergence in the sense that he told a more matured story than my story, being that he would be 90 in a few months and I'm still a youngster. And I think that his story had a lot more to do with the pre-war events and, of course, the events of the war. And he's telling stories of contemporary Nigeria today, whilst my story was just much um, embedded in what transpired between 1966 to 1970, and the little bit in my epilogue where I talked about solutions to the problems, the intractable problems of Nigeria today. So that I know that his book was written 40 years ago, and he's doing a remix of that book where he's introducing the aftermath of the war. And I'm awaiting the outcome of that book so that I can make a judgment on some of the things he has told us verbally about Nigeria. Oh, definitely he did. He was a commander of Biafran army, and he was in all the sectors of the war. He visited all the sectors and effectively fought in that war. He was a real commander. Given the scarcity of armaments, ammunition, even food that Biafrans experienced during the war, Madiebo acquitted himself very well in the persecution of that war. He was a brave hero of the Biafran people. Well, I don't feel any different from how you would feel about being the son of your father, because my father didn't make us think that he was a great man. He was an unsung hero, evident in the lecture that Chief Mbazrika Amechi gave at his funeral. He was one of the founders of Nigeria, one of the people who went through the crucible of, gaining independence for Nigeria. But along the line, and maybe after independence was gained and after the war, he, with his colleagues, were abandoned to the dustbin of Nigerian history. They never got any awards, they never received any accolade, but he lived with it and he didn't care. So I um, think that there's nothing special about me being the son of one of the founders of Nigeria. What is special about me is that I have elevated myself to a point where I am participating effectively in reminding Nigerians of what they did in the past and what I think we should do today to bring the country together and to forge a united and peaceful country. Yeah, my father told me stories to that line, to that effect, and I'm glad that someone has actually given an eyewitness account of what transpired, how my father, in the company of other patriotic Nigerians, ran around and rallied around to save the lives of over 1 million um, innocent civilians who were about to be massacred by their fellow citizens. I think he did what he did because he believed that one life is as important as a million lives. And I'm proud to be the son of a man who embarked on such mission. But I want to express my gratitude to General Alexander Madebo for being able to capture those very important moments in our history, especially the moments when people gave their lives for the freedom of others. And for that reason, I am quite excited about his interview about his revolutions. My father never wanted to talk about those things, as he believed that the history should be told by others, not by himself.